Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are making this extremely loaded steak and cheese potato and a shrimp potato. I don't eat beef, my boyfriend does, so I made a shrimp one for me and a steak one for my boyfriend. They are the same ingredients, just I think maybe like a little bit more obey on the shrimp. But first we're gonna go ahead and get started with washing our potatoes, cleaning them really good. My boyfriend likes to eat the entire thing, so you want to make sure you get all the dirt off the potato. Wash them up really good. Put them in a pan, make sure you space them out well enough, and just sprinkle them in some olive oil. I don't have my little olive oil dispenser thing, so don't judge me, okay? I had to get a little ghetto. Anywho, after you've done that, you want to put a little bit of salt on it. I did get a little extra, and I put garlic and herb salt on it. It's not a big deal. If you have pink salt, that works too. But like I said, my boyfriend likes to eat the skin, so I wanted to make sure that it was well seasoned. After you're done that, you want to go put it right in the oven. I put it on 400, just because if you know, potatoes take literally forever to cook. While that's baking, I started on my peppers. If you have a green pepper, I would definitely prefer that, but I didn't have any and I wasn't going back to the store. So I sliced some peppers, thinly sliced. You can also cube it. I just wanted it to have like that steak and cheese effect to it. So I did 2 peppers. Of course, all the ingredients will be listed in the description. And I just put them in a oil pan, and I did let these cook for about 10 to 15 minutes before adding in the onions, because I wanted the peppers to be cooking a little bit longer, because they take forever to cook versus like the onions is like 5 minutes. So I cooked these onions and peppers together for about 10 to 15 minutes. After that, you can add the cheese on top of this and cook the meat into that if you do eat beef, which I don't. So I did have to separate it. But if you want to make it a little bit quicker, you can mix the meat in as well and just put the cheese on top of it, and you'll pretty much be done. So I had to make my life a little bit harder. If you want to do it my way, this is the way, if you're making 2 different meats with it. So you want to cut open the potato, but of course you don't want to take off the entire potato because we're stuffing it. So I did it 2 ways to see which way I like better. This way I kind of just cut in the middle and open it up. And then I did another version, just slicing the top of it off. I honestly didn't really see a difference, that they both work. So, I mean, it's just up to you. And I just kind of open it up a little bit. It'll start to open up even more when you put the potato in. I did end up so as you see, I took some of the potato off. I didn't throw it away. Just put it to the side, and then just take the potato back and put it back in the potato once we start seasoning, which is what we're about to do right now. So as you see, I open it up. I'm just scraping it because it's a potato. So I'm trying to get it mashed. I did add in a little bit of butter in each one and mixed in some pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and just give it a good mix, just like if you were trying to get like mashed potatoes out of it, basically. So as you can see, the potato is starting to mash up. I just think of mashed potatoes just to make it a little bit easier when you're eating it, so that it all comes together. So then you're going to go ahead and get your steak out and your shrimp. I did put the steak in the freezer just for a few seconds, just so that when I slice it, I can slice it very thin. I obviously don't cut steak this way, but I wanted you guys to see the angle and how I would cut the steak. Just try to get it thin as possible. Putting it in the freezer really quickly does really help with slicing it thin as possible. So I cut up the whole steak, and while this is cooking, I am just unthawing my shrimp as well, if you are doing both. But this is what your steak should look like. Try to even get it thinner than that. I was just kind of rushing, to be honest, because it was late. Okay, so go ahead and put your steak in the pan with some oil. You see, why did I say it like that? With some oil. I just got my pepper to the side. You want to cook it, just until it's brown. I would definitely try not to get it well done, because I did pop this back in the oven just for a few seconds. So you don't need to overcook it. Steak cooks extremely fast. I did use some salt and pepper and just the same garlic and herb seasoning on this steak. Just because I really wanted like a steak flavor. I know I can't taste the steak, but I wanted my boyfriend to feel like, oh, I'm eating a steak on a potato, if that makes sense. Yeah. Anywho, so I wanted to put some bacon on his, because I don't eat pork either, but he does. So I did slice it up really thin and then put it in the pan, because it quick. It cooks a lot faster. What is wrong with me? It cooks a lot faster in the pan like this. So slice it up really thin and watch it, because it will burn very quickly. Like right there, it was like going crazy. So just watch it. Put that to the side, and then your steak should be finished cooking as well. Go ahead and put that in a pot to the side, and we are about to start assembling our potato. So now you're just gonna go ahead and add in your peppers and onions. I did push the peppers down a little bit into the potato to give it more space to put the rest of my toppings on. I would suggest putting the cheese on after this, and then putting the meat. Then I put the cheese back on top of that. But that's just because I really, really love cheese. I really love cone. No, but like seriously, I really love cheese. So I put cheese, and then I put the meat on top of it. Then I put more cheese on top of that. Especially for presentation, I wanted you to be able to see the cheese on the sides and everything like that. I would suggest using provolone. I just had leftover Swiss cheese from some mac and cheese that I made. So it's really not a big deal, but if thinking steak and cheese, you think provolone. So right now I'm just making the sauce. It is supposed to be a steak and cheese. So I wanted to make something that you would put on your steak and cheese. The measurements, of course, are in the description. Of course, you got to go on with the blah, blah, blah sauce. That's the best sauce in the world. And just give that a good mix. If you don't have a little squeeze bottle, you can pour it into a Ziploc bag and just cut off the end very small. I didn't have mine, and I know most people at home don't just have squeeze bottles sitting around the house. So if you don't, no big deal. Once you take your potatoes out the oven, make sure you put a good amount of sauce on there. My boyfriend put the entire bag. This was not enough, so put a nice amount of sauce in there. Chop up some fresh parsley so that it's pretty for the picture, so you can post it on Instagram. You can show the girls you know what you're doing. I sprinkled a little bit of Old Bay on top of mine for some color, and because it's shrimp on it, because it's delicious. Guys, this was so easy and delicious and cheap. Like, you really cannot go wrong. Make sure you like, comment, share this, and let me know when you try it and how you liked it. Thanks for watching.